we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kayfabe Corner. This is JPO, Jordan Purse Owens, coming at you with an interview with one of the rising stars of Florida and above. I'm here today with Jason Dugan. Jason, introduce yourself.
I'm your Real Pro Coastal Champion.
I can talk about your highlights. Real Pro, what Rapid Fire, what's the title on the topic?
Rapid Fire Champion, Tag Team Champion, and some other championships around the state.
Awesome. And we're here today
at Platinum Pro Wrestling.
To hear Platinum. You're all over the place. I mean, where else do you work? Any shout outs you want to give?
I work shows in Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina.
All over the place. Very well. How long have you been a fan of this lady professional wrestling?
Since I was 6. My adopted mom introduced me to wrestling. We were watching WCW, so we weren't allowed to watch WWE at the house.
Wait, why weren't you allowed to watch WWE?
Because she wanted to watch Hogan.
Ah. So you're okay with it? When did you start watching? When did you start sneaking in WWE?
When I realized I was the outcast in class, when everybody would show bring their little WWE action figures, and I don't know who The Rock is. You know, I was holding stand.
I don't smell what he's cooking. I'm just a big terrible Leia fan. What can I say? When did you start getting in the business? You're relatively newish, right? How long have you been in now?
3 years.
Oh, that's bad. Okay.
Yeah, 3 years.
What made you decide to finally make that jump to get into it?
Girls.
For real?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it's always been something that I thought about doing, and I was in a spot in my life where I could do it. You know, I had previous troubles from way back then that kept me away from it. I just needed to grow as a person, and when I decided to grow as a person, I figured wrestling would be a good start into doing something positive with my life.
So where did you train at? Where did you begin this career?
Where I began it? Team Vision Dojo.
Oh yeah?
I was there for 2 years, and then I smartened up. Smartened up and went to other places. I'm currently at Pro Wrestling 2.0. I also take private lessons in Jacksonville with the Pope, Elijah Burt.
Very nice.
So I'm blessed.
Absolutely. You know, you mentioned the Pope. You share the ring with a lot of great people, including the Pope. What are some of your favorite matches, both with names that everyone will know, and then as well just in more locally and throughout Florida and Georgia and whatnot? What are some of your favorite matches you've had?
So far, it would have to be the Pope. I had an I Quit match with him.
Oh yeah.
And the story that we told, was a 6 months rivalry we did over at Atomic Revolution Wrestling, and I learned so much in that one match. But I also have favorite matches with Andrew Everett. He was on Impact. I've worked James Storm. Loved working him. He was just fun to work with. Adam Rose. I'd had some good matches with Adam Rose. And every guy that I've been in the ring with, it's kind of hard to say this is my favorite match because
right. But no, you don't have to say what's number one. But no, like you were saying, just some of the people. That's a good list right there, man. For 3 years, that's a great list right there.
Yeah. So I've learned a lot. I'm blessed, and that's the key word to all of this. Is I'm very blessed.
No, man, and that shows that anyone that has worked with you, I think that's one of the reasons. I always say there's two things that get you working wrestling. It's both in-ring talent and then also just personality, man. You know what I mean? Like, you're the kind of guy that I think is good on the roster, both in front of the camera and even backstage as well. Even though in front of the camera, you're a real jerk.
Oh, man. Wait till this camera goes off.
No, on the camera, you should be me now. You should be nice off.
Man, witnesses.
Witnesses, too many witnesses around here. So you mentioned some of the bigger names. What are some of the more local names, just Florida-based, Georgia-based? What are some of the guys that you felt like you've really clicked with and have some good stuff with?
Jerry Swirls. Jerry Swirls stands on mine. Very comedic, but he's a good worker. I've also worked people like Casey Lennox, squashed them, She's a good worker. Not in my talents, but she's all right.
Getting there someday.
Yeah.
She's behind us something.
Jerry Swirls, Alex Todd. I love working Alex Todd. It's always
March 24th versus Alex Todd, Real Pro.
Oh yeah, I'll beat you again.
Ooh.
But either way, it's a lot of great indie talent. And I've learned a lot from a lot of different guys. But Jerry Swirls does stand in my mind because he's someone that a lot of people say that couldn't get as far as he is now. And this guy is traveling in Georgia and Alabama But there's a lot of great talents. Like I said before, I was an adopted kid. I don't know my real parents, but I had a lady that took me in, adopted me, adopted another kid. She was a good woman, she wanted what was the best for me, but I was angry, so I got into a lot of trouble growing up. I was very angry, so she never gave up on me, and I just needed to grow up to realize I can become a better person. I believe wrestling has helped me because it's made me realize, all the times I was getting in trouble, I could have been doing this, something that I love. So it's very positive, but also people in my situation at one time, the younger people, I want it to be a lesson learned where it doesn't matter, how bad you had it, how rough it was, you can reach for your dreams. Like, you don't have to stop. That's not it. If someone tells you you're a bad kid, you're not a bad kid, So wrestling has taught me to become a better person and pay it forward.
Very nice. There's always redemption around the corner if you're willing to go there. You mentioned her. Is she still around? Has she seen you wrestle?
No, my mom passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, same here.
Yeah, she passed away, and it sucks. I don't tell this much to anybody, but what was an eye opener is I had an argument with my mom, and the last thing I told her is I hate you. I don't want to see you again. And that was the last time I was ever in a room with her. I was just bitter. I was a bitter kid, and but I did talk to her a week before she passed, and she kept telling me she loved me, and I think she knew she was at that time. And she told me, she was very proud of me, even though I was like, for what? But now I look at it, I had good qualities. I was very loyal, so I believe she's proud of me.
That's absolutely. She's looking down, and it's good that you're on a more direct path here now, and a lighter, better path in a way, in a lot of ways. So describe your character a little bit here. Is your character you turned up? Very, how would you even describe your character? Very cocky?
My character is someone how I used to be.
It's the old you.
The old me.
Coming out.
Yeah. So it's the old me. It's kind of weird because I want to put the word positive there, but then you look at what I do in the ring.
Yeah.
But it's the old me, just portrayed in a wrestling character now, And, it's that person that, never give up attitude, always wants to fight, but will hide behind his partners, Ray Zion, JD Amazing were my tag team partners, and I've learned a lot from both of them.
All right.
They basically took me under their wing, they've been doing this longer than me, took me under their wing, and we started something special. Especially Ray, me and Ray, we fight like cats and dogs. But I can't say honestly he's my brother. We've been doing this for a while. We had another guy for a while, Brothers in Arms.
Yeah, what was the original member, right? I think I remember.
Yeah, Alex Santiago.
Okay, right, Santiago. What happened to Santiago? Where's he at?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's wrestling matches with Casey Lennox at some cubbyhole place.
Customs?
Yeah, Customs. Oh, what are you doing here?
And you can buy those over at yikes.org.
He took some time off, went to Puerto Rico, wrestled there, came back. Now he's wrestling again. He's doing good. Might see a Brothers in Arms reunion.
I was saying, yeah, BIA reunion when Santiago's back. So you mentioned Zion and JD, and it was kind of cool. You kind of alluded to it a little bit. Where did it transition from just putting you guys together to like a real brotherhood? Like how does that come along?
It was weird because me and Santiago started first. I met Ray at the school I trained at. Ray's a big dude. You've seen Ray. Ray's a big dude, a lot of knowledge. And I asked him, hey, you want to join? I'm thinking, we're two small guys, and we're going to be the job team. We got to do something here. So we were going to be taken serious. He joined, and he just started teaching us. And then after that, we just started traveling. And then, you got stories to tell when you're traveling, And, it became a brotherhood. He's quick to be by my side when I need him, and vice versa. And he's a good dude. And I've known JD when I was refereeing, actually.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Remember the whole referee time? I refereed, and JD came out of nowhere, messaged a bunch of people asking for my information. He kept calling me Little Jason. I was like, the little guy.
Little Jason.
And he told me, he's like, I have potential to be a good wrestler, and he encouraged me. There's been a few times where I wanted to quit. And then guys like JD, Ray, and then even Zach Monstar. He was one of the guys that I was so green. He took a green kid and produced great matches with him. And then that's what he did with me. So I owe Zach as well.
It's cool there.
Because a lot of people were like, oh, no, basically wanted me to put him over and I'd do their moves. I'd be the bump and feed. I'm a small guy, so I'm a bump and feed guy.
Yeah.
Zach is like, no, dude, I don't care. Powerbomb me. Yeah. So he took a green kid and taught him the way, and then the story goes to itself now. I mean, I'm working with bigger guys now. Pope is a big influence now in my life. I'm actually working Pope next week.
Oh, working him again? Yeah? Where's that at?
Jacksonville Duval Brawl.
Very nice.
So I'm working him. So that's going to be interesting. You've already seen some of our classes.
Yeah, I've seen you guys live. It was a great match. He's like you said, just from the little I've been around him, definitely seems like obviously a huge source of knowledge, and that's cool that you've really seen it firsthand. Yeah,
and he's taught me a lot to where now I'm like very particular about wrestling. You know, I've gotten great opportunities. Yourself has given me opportunities. You know, I took that coastal title, ran with it. No, I'm joking. No, you've
done good, man. I mean, that's why what champions April of last year?
That's it? No.
Earlier, later,
a little later.
May, June.
Maybe June.
I don't know. We'll look this up. It's on cagematch.com.
Yeah, it's something that I've been champion for a while. I've been defending the belt through out of Florida, Alabama. I've been defending the belts. I've been successful. Real Pro, I represent Real Pro at Atomic Revolution Wrestling. They're just great promotions. Real Pro, Atomic. There's a lot of great.
I know we talked about it. I think we talked about it in take one that will never be seen. Yeah. But we mentioned Atomic, Real Pro. We're here at Platinum. Anyone else you want to shout out? Where we're from?
Atmore main event. It's just so many different promotions, man. It's like fluttering in my mind.
Yeah.
OCW, which they're making a return. I've worked with them. Hype Pro. Frank Saltarelli, manager, has his own promotion now, and just so many good promotions, man. I've gotten the privilege to work for. I mean, even Pro Wrestling 2.0, I used to do shows for them, but I don't really like doing them now because it's the next wave of students. I'm not really a student anymore. That's sometimes like people that do like the 2.0 shows or even Go Wrestle. That's a good starter place for anybody that's breaking in. Those are good shows to learn your craft, own your craft, and then move on and then venture out. Brothers in Arms has a busy schedule this year, and we're doing Frank Goodman's
USA Pro.
USA Pro. We're going back there. Frank Goodman's really high on us. So we got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of out-of-state stuff. I worked with some great workers in Georgia. Some great workers. There's a tag team called TCC, Brothers in Arms. That was literally really our first rivalry in Georgia. Every time we've always pushed to the limit. And it was either it ended up in a double DQ or they get the win. And there's my partner, Razan, and actually my manager. If you mind me bring him in?
Bring him in.
Yo, Zion in the building. What's up? I found Salt.
How you doing? Oh my God.
Oh, your shirt's still on. I'm so glad.
Oh, baby.
You and I both, man. Come on, we gotta represent.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna last for like 15 minutes. Hey.
Save it for the show.
Later tonight.
Save it for the show.
Right now we're doing
You guys talk, man.
doing an interview.
You have a camera in front of me and you don't want to see the real money?
They gotta pay that. They gotta pay at the show for that.
You're not gonna pay me?
Not for the interview. You're not even in the interview.
The interview.
All right, whatever. What's up?
Robbie E. number one.
Man, screw Robbie E.
No,
Anyway,
not this show.
What's wrong with Robbie E?
Oh.
I don't know. I know Rob Stone. I don't know Robbie E.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, handle it.
I'll let you guys get back to it. God bless. Stay safe.
First, I was early raised number one, Brothers in Arms. What tag teams have you guys won? You were the Atomic Tag Team Champions.
We've been the Atomic Tag Champions. We held tag titles in Georgia for DCCW. We're actually the current XWX Tag Champions in North Florida.
You're so busy, you forget names.
Yeah, that's what I had to
G9F.
Yeah,
XPW.
Riot Pro Wrestling, we're the tag champions. We actually don't bring their belts there.
You don't what?
We don't bring their belts there.
Explain that here?
We hijack the tag titles at Riot, and we bring the Atomic tag titles.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
disrespect.
It's not bad. I like that. All right.
So yeah, we're holding tag titles. Even tonight, we're wrestling in a tag match. And basically, we're here just to prove that we're the best.
You're taking on Chris Braddock and Gavin.
I guess.
You don't even care who you don't care who you take.
And like me and Ray have this thing where it's like.
Notch.
And that's what it is. It's just another stepping stone for us. Another team, another stepping stone. Not that we are disrespecting them. You know, if you go into a match, you have to believe you're the best. Because if you think anything less, then you're psyching yourself out and you're forgetting things what you wanted to do as a game plan, and then you're just going in there trying to win it. We don't do that. Not brothers in arms. Even on the way here, we had a game plan. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. If I get beat up, Ray, you get in there and save me.
You say that every match. That seems like a pretty constant. If I get beat up, get on in there, right?
Because a good 95.7% of the time, I'm getting beat up, and I need or JD. If JD can't show up, we bring Frank.
You mentioned some of the names you've worked. What's a bucket list of both big names and more local names of guys that or girls that you would like to face?
Local, not even local. He's a guy in Georgia. I think you've heard of him. Stunt Marshall.
Okay, yeah.
Really want to work him one day soon. Troy Hollywood from Tampa.
Yeah, I'll make that happen.
Snoop. Snoop, I would like that. Hunter Law. These are just guys that I would really, really like to
So you want to take on OEO evidently?
yeah, bros in arms. Singles or whatever. Bigger names,
Both crazy and then also doable.
LAX.
Yeah?
The older LAX.
I'd say, yeah, which ones? What, you want to fight Homicide and Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay.
The older LAXs, they can still go. Homicide can still go,
Absolutely.
man. They were a big,
Notorious 187.
a big influence for me when I was trying to study and find myself. And I had to find who I can relate to. Someone said New Jack, I said heck no. I'm not gonna jump over that.
That's my good buddies with
But
Terrell Gaines and Jamal Fortune. Yeah, about that.
LAX is definitely a team I would like to work, pick their brain, you know.
So yeah, that Impact needs a new LAX. Just throwing that out there.
They do. There are some big things coming for me. Next year I can't really talk about, or this year I can't really talk about. But I'll be signed.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I'll be signed.
I wish that for everyone, man. I always said in a weird way, I want everyone to out budget or be signed to me. You know, where like, good, good on you.
Yeah, and they're great promotions. I believe it or not, the Indies is where it's at. You know, you got great promotions. WWE obviously is the king, always has been. Then you got AEW. Then you got NWA, Impact, Ring of Honor. These are all
It's
good
an interesting
promotions.
time right now, man. Yeah.
So it's a lot of opportunity more than what it was back in the early 2000s, the 90s. You know, where guys had to put in tapes just to get a booking. Now you have social media at your fingertips, so it's
no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
I did a seminar recently from one of the bigger names who was like, "There's no excuse now.
Yeah,
to market yourself, to get booked, like there's no excuse now."
No, and it isn't. And it brings back to
You no longer have to edit a VHS and hope someone will pick it up in the mail. You make your own highlight reel and send it to them.
yeah, it's no excuse. You can market yourself. You can show people what you have. It's just a big marketing. You know, you market yourself, the more bookings you get, the more people will see, you know, the more possibility to get signed somewhere. I, just like with the Real Pro Coastal title, I defend it everywhere because I market that I'm the champion and they see it and that looks interesting. We'll cross promote, bring in another promotion, see what this promotion talent and their champion has.
And yeah, then I can say just from like my point of view too, and not saying that like it was gonna get taken off you at any time, but like now it makes us go, oh, dude, he's doing stuff. Like let him go do some stuff. You know what I mean? Like it makes them happy too. Like us happy too. So it's smart on every level.
I feel like in the indies especially, we all should work together. Everyone looks at it as competition, and I don't see. I see why, but at the same time, I don't see why because we're all doing it with the same passion and love.
Yeah, it's the same intent, man. And I think almost to a degree, and obviously not for every company, but that's happening. I think the brotherhood's happening more nowadays. I feel like there is less cutthroat. Like, oh, I don't want any company to fail. I want you to be booked every weekend. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm sad when I hear so and so shut down. They're no longer running. I'm like, damn, that's one less booking for a bunch of guys and girls.
There's
you know?
a promotion that stands out in my mind right now. You might have heard of them, Mid Florida.
Yeah, sure.
Mid Florida, they're in Sanford. They got a guy named Dupree. He's doing the bookings there, and he's trying to really change his promotion. There's been a lot of bad stuff on his promotion. They call it a crap show, and he brought Brothers in Arms in. He's trying to bring in new talent, and bringing us in has brought in more younger talent. We're trying to grow it, you know. Same thing with if anything, they remind me of Real Pro more than anything, because Real Pro gives opportunities to guys that are not getting opportunities to showcase what they have. You know, I remember when I was still fairly new, you gave me an opportunity. I wrestled Ariel Dominguez in a showcase match, an opener match, and that was an opportunity for me and Ariel to show what we had. And I think about it now, I'm a coastal champion.
Yeah,
and
he's going to do great things, and we'll have him back sometime soon. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
look at Nick Abrams,
Abrams, yeah.
This dude was he came in new to Real Pro, and the dude
he was just a dude. Somebody was like, "Hey, my buddy Nick's looking for a spot," and I was like, "All right, we'll figure it out." And now he was top crown.
Yeah, he was a top crown champ. Leo Knox is another great example. The kid he's gonna be signed somewhere. He has a that's
we have high hopes for him. Local guy, first local guy to go get huge. Come on.
No, he's someone I do want to work. He's someone I do want to work. He has a lot of charisma. He reminds me of me, but the opposite of me. If I was more hip to the newer age side.
Oh, yeah. You're not lit AF, as the kids say?
No, I don't even know what they're talking about.
I don't know. That's probably not even current anyways.
The most updated I am is LOL.
You're the bomb.com, Jason.
I still use AOL.
My email is something@AOL.com, so whatever. You've got mail. Good movie, Tom Hanks. Have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have.
Let's talk about movies and TV real quick, just because I want to.
Yeah, I love
what's good? What's something? Give me some recommendations, because I know me and you, we bonded over.
I finally watched it.
Wait, like in general, the first one too?
No, not the. I love the original, but the newer one they made.
Oh, I meant like the first of the newer ones. You just saw the first one?
Yeah,
or the first newer one?
Yeah, me and her last night.
Who's her?
That's Reagan Fire.
Oh my God, Reagan Fire's here?
Yeah. Hi. So we saw it last night. It's really good. If you haven't seen that
What's
one.
up?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, you seen it?
Of course, yeah. I got to it. The huge biggest movie of the year, like 3 years ago. Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it. Didn't even know they made one. So I'm a TV guy.
Oh, that's right. I was about to say, did we not bond over? We bond over TV. Okay. Well, I gotta catch you up on movies. We gotta talk movies.
Yeah, finally.
You know, there's a second one. That's
we were watching it last night too.
Oh, okay, you got to. Okay, have you seen it?
Very vaguely. We were trying to watch it, but we fell asleep.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna say I want to hear your opinion on that, but we'll talk after.
Yeah, I like the original hit, but I'm more of a TV guy. Like I can watch any pretty much TV show.
What's a recent recommendation? Even if not necessarily even recent as in year, but recent like that you've seen recently that you recommend. No, you keep telling me to watch Nikita or something like that.
Oh, I love Nikita.
Did you say Ariel?
No, Ariel. We'll watch Ariel's matches. No, Arrow.
Oh, Arrow. Okay, yeah. I saw season 1, I think.
Yeah, they're ending it now. That's a good show. I'm really big on Flash.
Would you like to work Stephen Amell in a match?
You know,
it's not outside the realm of possibilities.
I met Stephen Amell last year, and I gave him an Atomic Revolution flyer. True story. Jerry's Worlds was there. I give him a Atomic Revolution. He marks out. He's like, "Oh, this is wrestling." He's at his booth, and he's like, "Oh, this is wrestling." And he saw I was on there and had the title, and he's like, "Hey, so I'm gonna take your championship, man." He's just straight trash talking me, and you can say, good guy, man. Never posted the picture that I have with him. I need to.
Damon Amell, we'll have him on the show. No.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Have your people contact his people.
Yeah, exactly.
You are your people. So.
I was almost on Dawson's Creek once. True story.
Really?
No, not really. I sent in a tape. They were supposed to cast Katie Holmes was gonna have a brother at one point, and it never happened. Anywho,
What?
I like to think I had a shot.
Listen,
to
not a
figure
lot
out
of
my
people
brother.
remember Dawson Creek.
Yeah. Come on, I love Pacey. I was a Joshua
Yeah,
Jackson guy.
he was definitely getting all the girls, man. I used to watch Dawson Creek, man.
Uh-huh.
I think I watched Dawson Creek like 6 months ago.
I don't want to wait
Yeah.
for our lives to be over. That's every day at work. It's on our loop. A bright-eyed kid comes up to you, 17 years old, and he says, Jason, I want to be a pro wrestler. Give me some advice. What advice do you give an aspiring?
I've had this question before.
What's an answer?
What I usually say is find a local
No.
wrestling school, but find a good wrestling school with name value. If you want to be a pro wrestler, find a school that has a good name value, because there are schools out there that don't have name value and that you're not learning the real fundamentals of wrestling. You know, I went to a school, and I don't want to get deep into it. I
Right.
went to a school that I did not look at the history or the information on it, but the training was top notch. Just the environment was bad. And when I realized how bad it was, I left. And I went to a better environment with the same fundamentals, the same teachings. So it's always find a good school. Learn your fundamentals. Train. I know everybody wants to get in the ring right away. Don't have to get in the ring right away. Wait. You know, I waited a long time until I knew I was ready. I was a referee. You know, and people get in there and first impressions last a long time. So if you go in there and you're the drizzling, excuse my language, you're drizzling your shits.
Yeah.
That's what people are gonna think. So if you train, you keep training, you know, definitely you'll get better, you'll be ready. You know, you might not be, you know, WWE level, but you'll be there to hold a good match. So definitely in Orlando, Pro Wrestling 2.0 is a really good school. WXW, top notch. Team 3D, top
Yeah.
notch.
I was gonna say you have definitely a few options if you're looking Florida-wise for sure, and anywhere too. Yeah.
I
Do your
know,
research. Do your research.
Over in your area, you guys, Real Pro ended up opening a school,
Yeah.
and that's a good school too because it might not have the name value due to the fact that it's new, but it will.
Yeah. Yeah. You get there. You walk before you run.
Yeah, it will. You got to start somewhere, and it will. So that's also if you're in your area, the people should go there and train. You know, Zach Monster is a really good person to learn from. I learned from Zach, so it's a good place. Even I'm actually planning on going there. You know,
Oh, yeah? That'd be
I'm
cool.
planning on going there and do some training with Zach. Those are the only schools I can really think of. Jay Lethal's a really good school.
Yeah. Tampa Bay Pro. Absolutely.
There's just so much out there. If you want to be a pro wrestler, you can do it. You just got to be passionate about it. Don't do it as a hobby, you know, because traveling is hard. It's stressful. I get very stressed with dealing with, you know, getting booked, remembering to send a promo pic, you know, my normal life. So it's just, if you want to do it, you got to be all in. It's not just something, this is a hobby. If it's a hobby, then wrestling your back.
Any social media plugs in there? Anything you want to plug before we head off here?
Yes, definitely check out Brothers in Arms on Facebook. Just type in Brothers in Arms, will pop up as a picture of me and Ray. Jason Dugan on Facebook, you know, got the Deathstroke mask, not hard to find, and it says Pro Wrestling. I have an Instagram as well under Jason Dugan, Jason Dugan .925. Such a random name.
Why? I'm not gonna know about that.
Not because I let them pick that out.
Nah.
And I'm also on Twitter under Jason Dugan. So, you know, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Dugan, promoters, get at him. Guys, thanks for watching, and I love you more than you'll ever know. Oh, good. That is on film now.
Yes! He's gonna save that and post it.